Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time once again to meet our community, the Hispanic business community here in Orange County, powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Orange County's only community radio station, with today a non-Hispanic member. How can that be, John Gutierrez?
Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to our community podcast show powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Senior Vice President John Gutierrez. And with us today is one of our members who is a community leader, a business, I guess you could say manager, right? Your senior manager position with RIMAN, which, of course, is Ms. Melanie Luong. Welcome, Melanie, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here.
I just want to make sure we say it the right way, the name of the business. Go ahead.
RIMAN.
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 Okay.
Now, you missed my cue. I said you have a non-Hispanic member
Well,
of the
good
Hispanic
into
Chamber.
that. Paul Roberts is right. You know, as the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you know, many people often ask us, do you have to be Hispanic to be part of our Hispanic Chamber of Commerce? And the answer is, of course, no, you don't. And as you can see, Melanie, who's a member of ours, is somebody who's passionate about growing the business she's involved in, of course, with our Hispanic community.
And reaching out to all communities.
Exactly,
She belongs to lots of
exactly. And
chambers,
for those of you that don't know, there's 30,000 Hispanic-owned businesses in Orange County. That's pretty amazing, which is the network that everybody's trying to tap into, of course, along with yourself, right?
Exactly.
And before we go on and talk about these amazing products and this organization, this business that you're with, because here at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, it's all about helping our business owners and supporting our community. We'd like to get to know you a little bit, Melanie, if you don't mind sharing with us a little bit about yourself and just, you know, maybe where you grew up. Tell us a bit about your family. And we're also going to get into the amazing business you're involved with.
Okay, well, I may not be Hispanic heritage, pero yo hablas poquito español.
Eso!
There you go.
There you go.
She's in.
Habla español, ¿ves? That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And share with us a little bit about yourself. Maybe your family, where'd you grow up?
So I came to America when I was 6. Live in Orange County my entire life.
And where'd you come from?
I came from Vietnam.
Vietnam. Shout out to all of our Vietnamese community out there. We do a lot with the Vietnamese Chamber as well. So shout out to them. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm half Chinese, half Vietnamese. I do speak both languages and poquito español.
Nice.
I went to UCI for a double degree in international studies and studio arts.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are at the UCI, of course,
What is
campus here.
studio arts? I don't even know what that is.
That means you learn all the fields of the arts, such as ceramics, photography, digital arts, pretty much everything. Drawing,
Oh, that's great.
painting.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's great. I didn't know that there was that collaborative package, right, involved in a major. So that's really good, right?
Yes.
And then, so you came to UCI. What was that experience for you? I mean, it's such a beautiful campus. Obviously, we're in the studios right now here at UCI.
It was a great experience. That was kind of like, I grew up, like in a very sheltered household. And so like just being in college was a great, like opening experience to like meet so many different diverse groups of people and, taking the classes. Like I did a double major. So actually, I was actually in school a lot, but it shaped me to have like good ethics, right? Because when you're taking 24 units per quarter,
Wow.
every quarter, like you really learn time management, and just like pursuing and making sure you finish on time.
24 units, that's a lot. What do you feel was something that maybe in your lifetime growing up as a child, I mean, you're so driven, right, to take 24 units. Would you say that has to do just with your upbringing, your family, your parents?
Definitely my parents instilled a lot of great work ethics in me. You know, like my mom, like she's a seamstress, and so like her daily routine was to get up at 5 and just work and come home and cook dinner and provide. And my dad was the same way, like he worked 6 days a week, and just driving to Pomona every day, like living here and driving to
Wow.
making that commute, and working 6 days and never taking vacation. Like my
What did
parents,
what did he do?
he was a butcher.
Yeah, I got to tell you, interesting story. When my dad came here, as what I said, on the 1960s, he shared with me a story that one of the first people he met was actually a gentleman who was Chinese, and who actually, my dad told me this story when I was in college, that this man gave him an opportunity to basically live in his back house, you know? And so I never forget that, because my dad has his old saying that says, one hand cannot wash itself. Una mano no se lava sola.
Right.
And it was something that I even have on my fraternity jacket, right? And so I always think about that story, how my dad came here as an immigrant in the 1960s. And one of the first people he met was somebody that was Chinese who gave him the hand, who gave him an opportunity to live in his home.
Right.
So, it's beautiful to hear that your dad was one of these people that was just working hard during those days, because I think they were interacting a lot with our community.
Right. I mean, I have a huge respect for all the cultures. We came here with nothing, right? I mean, my dad had to pawn off his wedding band just to make it through, and to see everyone, rise and doing so well within our communities and giving back. Like, I'm just so honored to be a part of all of this.
Yeah, definitely. We often have people here on the show who talk about their journey and how, of course, their parents instilled those hardworking ethics like you talk about that your parents instilled in you, right?
Right.
And therefore, you now at UCI at one point were taking 24 units, right? It's that resilience that we talk about, right? That our parents taught us.
Were you the first one in your family to go to college?
Um, they had it right. They only had one.
Well, that's what it's about, right? It's how our parents are raising us. Now, share with me a little bit about the transition from UCI to going into the workforce, into the real world. What was that like for you?
I mean, I think it was an easy transition because, like, to be honest with you, I mean, when you're taking 24 units consecutively for, like 6, 7 quarters straight, I mean, going to work 8 hours actually was really easy.
Really? That's good that's good to hear. We have a lot of our, obviously members that listen and watch us on the show, but also our youth chamber, right? It's a big part of our Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, of course. And it's good for them to hear that, hey, college life, maybe at UCI and some of these universities, in essence, it prepares you for the real world and the real workforce, right? So that's good. That's good to hear. So you said the transition was not as difficult as one would think.
Oh, it definitely wasn't because I mean, after work, like, I felt like, okay, how can I better myself? So I always do continuous education, going to the gym and then working on my health. So I mean, it's kind of crazy, but my first gift to myself was actually a gym membership, right out of college. And so I've had that membership, for a long time. And so I pay $50 a year with 24-hour fitness.
Let's
And
not
so
tell them that because they're going to raise it on you. Be careful.
they have a contract on it with me.
You're going to have all these, agents calling you from 24-hour fitness. Let's raise it on her. So for you, at what point, because I know you're in this, business of good health and beauty, at what point in your career would you say you started really thinking about the importance of good health? Obviously, you're talking about the gym and staying healthy. At
Right.
what point was that important to you? Was that at a young age because of the way your parents raised you, or was that later in your life?
I mean, like, I saw my grandma, like, struggle through diabetes as a young child.
Okay.
So, at a very young age, I remember, like, at 7 or 8 years old, I resolved that, like, I would never touch, I'm sorry, I know it's one of your vices is like a Coke, right?
Yeah.
But,
I don't drink soda no more, so yes.
I know, yes,
Yes.
but that was your previous vice.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, at a young age, I absolved to never touch, sodas, sweets, things like that, because I didn't want to go down that path. I knew that if my grandma had it, it would become hereditary. And so, I have always like resolved early on that I wanted to walk a different path from that, to never be on medication, to just, live a healthy lifestyle. And so, I've already thought of that like at a young age. And so just taking care of myself and applying sunscreen, at 7, 8 years old, by myself, without any adult telling me to.
Do you do that on a regular basis? Because I know
Yes.
some people do that on a daily basis,
On
right?
a daily basis, rainy day, sunny day, snowy
Really?
day.
It
Yes.
doesn't matter.
Yes.
Regardless of sun, it's something you apply every day.
Yes.
Wow.
Because you can actually get UV rays just sitting right next to a window, sitting at Starbucks. So you don't want to take that chance.
Wow. And that's something that at a young age you learned from just your own, or was it something that somebody told you to do? Because that's important. I will say, I went to I want to say it was the big convention in Anaheim, right? I think I mentioned to you, I ran into you guys there. I don't know if it was the Korean convention. What was it?
Oh, that I wasn't able to make that Korean
But
convention.
I remember going to that one, and wow, it was just like everybody's skin was flawless. I came home and I shared with my wife. I'm like,
Right.
this was amazing to see how that is such an important. I mean, we live in Irvine. There's a big Asian community, right, in Irvine, and that's something we notice. It's so important how they take care of the skin, right? Which
Right.
again goes back to your business and what you do, right?
Right.
Which is, of course, not only from a gut standpoint, from a healthy standpoint, but also I know there's other products that you guys offer, right, for the skin.
Right.
We had somebody come in about that event. Actually, it was last year. It was the largest
Yes.
Korean World Trade Center
Yeah, it was
outside
huge.
of Korea. They brought it here for the first time to the U.S.
Yeah, it was a
And
huge event.
one of the huge events, one of the huge categories was health and beauty. I never knew
Yeah,
Korea
me too.
was so prominent in the health and beauty industry. Talk about that a little bit. Is that where RIMAN is from here? Is RIMAN a Korean
Yes,
brand?
RIMAN is from South Korea. They've actually only been in business for only 7 years, but at the height of COVID, I mean, they made over $2.5 billion
Wait. Did you say 2.5 billion
with a B.
with the B? And they've
Yes.
only been in business 7 years?
Oh, 2.5 billions was during the early years of them launching in
Only in the
Korea.
early years.
Yes, I mean the number has exceeded 2.5, like way beyond that now.
Wow.
Yes.
And what is it they do? Are these health regimens? Are these skin products?
Yes, share
Are
with
they-
us a little bit about the products.
What do they do
Yeah,
here?
with the general.
So, like RIMAN actually has like three categories. Like one is skincare, which is Incel Derm. Two is, Bodolab, which is like hair care and body care. And then the third category is nutrition, which is like, liquid collagen and the gut health detox item.
Which is a
So-
little powder you had, right? I think.
Yeah,
Talk about
so
the gut
Yes.
health for a minute, because we were talking beforehand. Dr. Trin, a famous physician in Orange County, did a show here in Orange County for years. Friend of John's, friend of mine. He's on the board of Alzheimer's. He talks about healthy gut. Your gut is where your health starts.
Yeah.
We never
Well, I
think
think
of
that's
our
what
gut.
this is about, right?
yes, this is exactly what's in here. This box, it comes in a packet of 28 packets. And another thing about education is that I always want to continue to learn. So there happens to be a prebiotic symposium yesterday, and I was able to meet all the the educators, and just people who are like vanguards, in the field of prebiotics. And so they really talked about
And what is
how
prebiotics? I don't even know what prebiotics is.
prebiotics is
You mean like probiotics, right?
pre and probiotics.
Okay, it's the same.
It's
Yeah.
it's like good gut health
Yes.
bacteria.
I drink a lot of hot tea because Dr. Trin, who you know and we know,
Right.
when I first spoke to him about me wanting to lose weight, he said, well, in our culture, in the Asian community, we drink a lot of hot tea to help the gut. And I was like, okay, we grew up drinking tea in the Hispanic community. We
Right.
drank more like cinnamon hot tea. That was really popular in our home. But he said, yeah, a lot of good probiotics are in tea. So I started drinking like ginger lemon tea, ginger peach. I even do chamomile lavender. And I feel like it really helped a lot my system, my gut, even my sleeping, right? I've
Right.
talked about it on the show several times. So this is
And
great.
you
that-
lost a whole bunch of weight after you started. You got up to sugar and you got on some other things.
Yeah, I mean, I have gained some of it back. I'm not gonna lie, but it's
Stand
it's
up and
hard.
show us.
No, it's okay, Paul. But I will say that I felt much better,
Right.
overall. And I still get up every day and I stretch a lot, what many maybe would call your yoga, right? and I do a lot of walking. So there's a whole process to it, right? So I'm a big fan of the whole gut, concept of taking care of your gut because it really does help. I feel like it really changes your way of life, right?
The in the Korean culture, they really believe that beauty is from the inside out. So there's a thing called the gut-brain axis,
The
and
gut
also
brain axis. You guys hear that? The gut brain axis. Okay, tell us about that.
the gut-skin axis.
Okay.
The gut basically, is a second brain and it controls all of that. And so someone even told me the other day that gut health is also controlled, related to depression,
Hmm.
and so it actually, controls so many things that we're unaware of.
Hmm.
So how this works is that you tear this, on top,
Hmm.
and then you shake it into your mouth.
Oh, so you drink it like that?
Yes.
I thought you had to put it in water. Okay.
No, not like Metamucil.
Oh,
So
okay.
you open it and shake it into your mouth, and
Okay.
you consume it with water,
Okay.
and you could, do that until you're done, right?
Okay.
So the amazing thing about this is very simple actually, is that it expands 40 times its size, inside the tummy. So I equate that to kind of like lava flowing, right? So when it creeps, and it takes like all the minute little things along the way, and
Really?
so it's able to release all the toxins.
So it cleans you out.
It really cleans you out, but in a very gentle way, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Not where you're going to
not
go to the
like-
bathroom 10 times in within a couple
Exactly.
hours.
No.
It just little by little cleans you out.
Yes, little by little, just
Wow.
like a lava flowing, right?
That's
It
very
moves
interesting. You guys
slowly.
hearing this? Wow. And again, tell us what's the name of that?
So the product is called like Deep Talk Plus,
Okay.
and it contains like psyllium husk is the main ingredient. It's made of all natural fibers. Also
That's important that everybody listens. It's made of all natural fibers because we know for a fact that fiber is one of the most important things that helps our body, especially our gut, right?
exactly.
And we
Especially
don't
when
get
you're-
enough of, particularly
Exactly.
in our Western
We don't-
diet. Our McDonald's and hamburger and
Well, it was interesting
Cheetos kind of
because
diet here.
I got to tell you, when I went through my whole process of, because I was, basically pre-diabetic, when I went through the whole process of trying to fix my A1C, right, which is your results of your blood test. For those of you wondering what A1C is, I started getting more involved in eating things with fiber. And so like last night, I bought another, cereal that has a lot of fibers, right? And I'm sitting there with my wife and we're eating it and it has almonds and all this stuff, right? And so that is interesting that this product, right? That's one of the main things in it, all natural fibers, right? Because I think we don't utilize that as much as we should in our bodies on a daily basis.
Right, absolutely. Like I think in any diet, I mean, and in our fast-paced world where we're just constantly on the run, fiber is so hard to come by in our natural foods, right? And so, another thing it contains is like a milk thistle, which is good for the liver as well. And so, it's also able to help control blood sugar, cholesterol, inflammation, bloating, constipation. I mean, things that in the medical field, it's okay to say, but sometimes when you say things in public conversation, it's a little bit taboo, right? But our health is so important. Like, why should it be taboo? I mean, why is saying, these things is like, oh, if you feel a little bit like, oh, I shouldn't say it so, much, right? But you do, if you care about someone, like you want to say this, oh, hey, this can help you, because no friend is going to call you up and say, oh, hey, I don't feel so good. These are my symptoms, right? But they keep it to themselves and then wait to go to a doctor. But if someone knows about this and, and if I can get it across to them, then that would help them without them having to go through the Miralax route and all stuff. And that's not great for you either, because if that gives you the runs, that's actually not healthy either.
Exactly.
How did you find this? How did you stumble onto this?
Well, I mean, actually I stumbled upon this totally serendipity. A friend of mine was trying to introduce a skincare to me as part of RIMAN. And I said, I'm actually very afraid to touch anything new, because heaven forbid, I'm going through eczema right now, and it could be psoriasis, and I didn't want to exacerbate my situation. And so she's like, well, they also have a gut health product. Why don't you give that a shot? And I said, that's amazing because everyone needs to work on their gut health.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a box immediately. And honestly, within like about 8 days or so, maybe 9 days, my skin from the eczema started clearing up right away.
Wow.
You know, I mean, and
Again, that gut health connection here. The gut, our stomach, we don't think has control over anything but our digestion. But it does, according to many, like Dr. Trin say, he says it actually affects your brain health. It
Oh
affects
yeah,
your,
for sure.
your
For sure.
everything.
Yeah.
yes. So, you know, I dove a little bit deeper into the gut health, and they say that, you know, like about 70% of skin illnesses, you know, or conditions could be remedied by working on your gut health, right? So, I was a lucky 70%, I would say, you know. And it's like I'm actually joining like a lot of like different groups and like, you know, rosacea, like, you know, like eczema groups and stuff. And sometimes I just want to reach out and give that person a hug. I'm like, oh, this would really help you, you know.
Right.
Well, and I know it's difficult.
And again, we should do the disclaimer. This, I'm sure the FDA doesn't list this as a cure for eczema or plaque psoriasis or anything else here. But like so many alternative treatments, people are saying, well, what else can I do other than taking a pill? I have high cholesterol. What else do you do?
Well,
you got to find other alternative routes to.
And the other thing is, you have to remember that at the end of the day, everybody is so different as a person, right? In their system and their diets, and everything plays an effect as far as what you're eating, when you're eating, if you're consuming, let's say, too much alcohol or any other things that you're taking. We know that obviously, if you're taking too much medication, it could possibly hurt your kidneys, your liver. So a lot of it just really depends on the person.
Right.
But it's good to know that, you know, you're offering just educational type of, you know, remedies that can maybe help them, right? And that's really up to the person.
And we're all used to taking supplements. We're all looking to add more diet, diet fiber to our diet.
Well, let's talk about how much is one of these, if you don't mind sharing, or ballpark. Like, where can they buy them? Where can they order them? Where can they contact you for some of this stuff?
They can reach me on my Instagram page, Glowing K Beauty, the number 2, and you know, reach out to me via DM. And each box is $68 for 28 packets.
Which you take one every when? How often?
You know, like on the packaging, it'll say twice a day, but you know, I honestly recommend starting off slow, right?
Okay.
I mean, slow and steady is
Yes.
better. So I recommend taking it once a day, you
Okay.
know, until your body gets acclimated to it, and then you can take 2 a day.
Okay.
You know, this is also another disclaimer. Not everyone experiences the same results.
Of course.
But my friend also took it, and she lost 40 pounds on it.
Wow.
So, you know, it does help because you're flushing out a lot of like
Of course. You're detoxing.
things, you know,
Yeah.
like from your body. Yes.
Exactly. You're detoxing, right? And,
Exactly.
And we know that the body can store, right, a lot of things in your system. And any types of detox. I mean, there's different types of detox that people do, whether it's like I was talking about earlier about drinking hot tea, right? Or whether it's something like this, right? I mean,
Right.
there's just different forms of detox. And we know people detox by not eating after 6 and not eating again till the next day till 2, because the body goes into
Dr. Trim was always talking about fasting.
yeah,
intermediate
fasting,
and
exactly,
stuff, yeah.
which is another form of detoxing, right?
Right.
But not everybody can do that, right? That's I've tried it, and me being like pre-diabetic, it's tough because I need something in my system before I start getting oozy and, you know, dizzy and things like that. So that's why I drink hot teas or I eat a bar, things like that, you know? So everybody, you know, disclaimer, everybody obviously is going to have different results as far as different products. But it's important that we share that there's a reason why some of this has sold 2.5 billion. I
Right.
mean, obviously certain people are utilizing and it's working for them. If it wasn't working for them, I doubt people would be using it, right?
Is this only sold through direct distribution, like through you, or is it in stores or online? Or?
Mostly through me right now, you know, but I am working with a lot of like wellness clinics, med spas, like fitness centers, like you know, salons everywhere to get that into their space, right? Because our products are plant-based, not with non-toxic ingredients, and we use the lava water from Jeju Island, which is kind of like the Hawaii of Korea.
Really?
And yes, it's beautiful. And there's this there's only a few places in the world that has this lava mineral water. So it's 400,000 years old. So, you know, contains a lot of nutrients, and they use that special water. It's protected too, by the way, by the Korean government. And we have a 20-year exclusive contract with the government to use this water. So no other cosmetic or skincare company has access to this water. So we use that same water to grow this plant called young pool. And so by the water being so nutrient dense, the plant that's normally this size is now this size, right? Which now the plant is patented and is now a new plant species of its own. So, no one else has access to that plant either. Some people say, oh, it's Korean skincare because they use a dried form of that plant and then they can name themselves Korean skincare. But we, grow it in our smart farm for 45 days at the peak of ripeness. And then that's when we, cultivate the plant and make that into our skincare and, hair care and body care.
I think
products.
this is great that you're sharing the actual process, because you just sharing what you just shared really took it to another level, right? This is not just something grown in, the water itself, it's so unique that's going into this plant that's being
Is this
grown.
what they tend to call nutraceuticals, this whole movement of using food as medicine instead of pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, using plant-based items to improve your health or skin or everything?
Well, actually, our company is considered cosmeceutical because the third component of why this company is so special is that we have a nanoliposome technology. So
A nanoliposome.
Liposome.
All right, what is that?
okay, so when you get a root canal, or if anybody gets a root
I've
canal.
had those. I've had a root canal. Not fun.
So they use numbing cream, right?
Yeah.
And so it dives deeper into the dermis level, and you feel the impact of the numbing cream within minutes. So with the nanoliposome technology, it's the same technology. So it goes deeper into the dermis level. So then, you're able to purge out the acne, the dark spots, things like that, through the extended usage of time, you can really see, the dark spots
You
fading.
can
and the acne.
detoxify your skin. You can purge this stuff out of your
Exactly.
your dermis.
I'm learning a lot of good stuff today, man. No, this is great. This is great. I got to say, and I don't want to compare it, but a good example is we recently had a friend of ours here from New Jersey, New York, right? And we kind of joked about how he has a business called Johnny Bronx Pizza. And I said, why is it that...
Which is a different kind of health regimen.
But hear me out.
Let's eat some pizza.
Hold on, Paul, please. I'm being serious about this,
Okay.
please. He talked about how different the water that they utilize to make the dough in New York is so different from water utilized
Completely.
over here.
Yeah.
And that is why this pizza tasted so different in New York. And something so simple as the water component in making this recipe, regardless if it's pizza or whatever it is, just the fact that the water played such a huge role in the recipe, right? And so I think it's very important to look at the fact that you just mentioned that the water that's being utilized, right, to feed this plant,
Right.
it's such a unique water that's actually protected by the Korean government, right?
Exactly.
I think that's crazy. That's unique because the water plays such a huge role. And I can say that I grew up, my father was a landscape worker, and I firsthand saw how important and how my dad treated his plants and how he took care of them, how he valued them, and between, the water, the earth, where they were planted, how the sun hit them, how the shade, all that played such a huge role for him with his plants. And as a kid growing up, I used to be like, Dad, they're just all plants. What's the big deal, right? But as I got older, I understood why he took care of them. You sharing the story of how they protect this plant and how they feed it says a lot about this product. I'm just saying, that says a lot about the process.
And water's the key to everything. As
Yes.
crazy as it sounds, when I took a tour of the Budweiser factory years ago where they make Bud up in the valley, they change the water so that it mimics the way it is in St. Louis. They want the water composition to be exactly the same from plant to plant around the world. In Ireland, when they grow whiskey, it's all about the water. It's all about
So
the
water
soil.
plays a huge component, right, in all these products that
Right.
are made and produced.
I mean, a lot of the skincare companies are using mineral water, which is pretty good, but we're using lava water that's 400,000 years old, right? So anything.
Lava water. I've never heard of that.
So it must filtrate through a lava rocks or something.
Exactly. Right. And so if the same water is able to grow a plant that makes it 5 times larger than its size, then what can it do for our skin, right? It can really restore. The plant itself is known for regenerative properties. So right now, regenerative medicine, holistic medicine is really, like what's the future
And what's the
right
plant
now?
called? I never heard of this plant.
Byung Pool.
How do you spell
How
that?
do you spell that? Yeah.
BYOUNG space POOL pool.
I
Go
gotta
look
tell
it
you
up.
something. There's gonna be a lot of people listening and watching this show
Yeah.
that are
I
gonna
wanna
be
know more.
Googling this,
Yeah.
and they're gonna, because I know everybody wants to look younger, right? Not only that, but you want to just feel better, feel healthier, right?
Right.
And if that's gonna help us through the gut process, that's just amazing. There's a reason why. Hello, $2.5 billion has been spent on buying this product. Obviously, it must be helping people
And
somewhere.
as Dr. Trin would be the first to point out, because he's a regular MD, but he said when he went to med school, arthritis, they don't talk a lot about gut health. It's all about, other parts of the body, but they don't put a priority on
And that's
teaching
okay.
about
Everybody
nutrition
has,
and gut and
yeah,
all that
everybody
stuff.
has different perspective, different ways, and we have to respect, right? Like, people are going to go through different channels. People are going to take different roads. I'm very big about not being controversial. If you choose medicine, I know a lot of doctors, hey, they choose that, right? If other people choose, no, I want to do the natural, right? I want to do yoga. I want to, drink hot teas. That's okay.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm going to take a Tylenol once in a while because I have a really bad headache.
Right.
But I'm not going to be addicted to it either every day, right? So there's balance to everything, right? Like the yin yang says, right? Like you got to have balance to everything, right? No, like you said, even though it says here to take this twice a day, you're like, well, let's just start off maybe once a day, right? And then kind of work your way into it.
Exactly. Moderation is key.
And you do
Oh.
have healthcare products and other sorts of things. We're running out of time here. We're just trying to give you a chance to mention some of the other things here.
We only have under 30 products with the company, so everything
Only,
they do,
only 30 products. That's it.
is done with a lot of intent and a lot of research before they release the next item. Oh, but one thing I do want to mention is very exciting. Like I'm part of the Hispanic Chamber, and we're actually growing. The RIMAN company is growing to expanding to Mexico next month, April 1st.
Nice.
And so, we're definitely looking to grow our team. Any Spanish speakers would be amazing.
There you go.
Non-Spanish is still amazing.
And what are you
Yeah.
looking for? Like, is this like multi-level marketing? Is this direct home marketing?
It's direct sales. I mean,
Right.
you're holding the products, right? I mean,
Right.
there's nothing pyramid-y about any
Yes.
of this, right?
Okay.
I mean, you can find the products at med spas, like salons everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like we're gonna be launching in Mexico. And do you know that Mexico is actually the second largest consumer of Korean beauty products?
What?
What?
No.
I was shocked
I
when
wouldn't
I
know
heard that.
Yes.
Yeah, so they really love Korean beauty in Mexico, but hey, now they have a chance to, use the #1 brand. So
There you go, folks. That means the Hispanic community, right, wants to have good skin, good health, right? Better gut, right?
Exactly.
Systems in our lives. So with that, I just want to say, Melanie, again, we wish you all the best of luck here at the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're all about, celebrating and supporting our small businesses. Obviously, this has grown to a big business, but you're one of the local businesses, obviously growing it. Thank you for joining our chamber. Thank you for believing in us. And, again, we wish you all the best of luck. And if anybody has any, interest in learning more about it, again, please follow her on her Instagram, which is
glowing, GLOWING KBEAUTY, the number 2. And that's it. Yeah.
okay. Follow her on Instagram, send her a DM, and you get more information about this amazing product. Folks, I also want to remind everybody, our Stray Awards is coming up, of course, April 12th. So please hurry and get your tickets. Go online to ochcc.com, which is our website. And, again, tune in every week as we continue to support more of our local businesses that are part of our chamber. If you wish to join our chamber, leave us a message. Of course, visit our website, ochcc.com, and continue to follow us at all of our social media platforms. Thank you, Melanie, for being on the show. We wish you all the best of luck. And, we'll see you again, hopefully next year, and see where it's all at in Mexico, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here
All
today.
right, folks. Well, there you have it. Take it away, Mr. Paul Roberts. Have a good one, folks.
You've been listening to Impact OC.
Oh my God.